And we are going today to weave different wisdom sources together. I have ordered and I'm going to be drawing from 100 years of daily word wisdom. Now, if you need some weights to lift, this book works. When Russ carried it in, when it arrived on our doorstep, he goes, I don't know what is in here, but it is heavy. This is 100 years of daily word messages with which we've been blessed. We heard the word glory today. That's one of the newer words to me. There are many words that repeat time after time, and then some others that come and go. But what I want to do today is to give you a little bit of the history of daily word. Some of what I've learned in my research is very interesting and somewhat surprising to me. Well, all year we're at this pinnacle, 100 years. Can you imagine a publication that has been that enduring to the point that right now we have a subscription of more than 400,000 that go around the world to more than 100 countries. It's translated into 4 languages, and there is a very steady diet of the daily word for those that need Braille to read the publication. And that just is so interesting to me. There's more than 900 readers that use the Braille version of daily word. So it's not just limited to those that can read. You can also, if you have a subscription, listen to the audio message daily. There's a variety of ways to work with this. So the interesting part to me that I learned, and this may surprise you as well, that of all the subscriptions and all the readers, all those that partake of this message, that only 20% are Unity people. Isn't that amazing? And that the others are from all faiths, all traditions, all belief systems, from all different walks of life that have happened onto this in one way or another. Maybe you have your own fascinating story of the first time you picked up a daily word. Maybe it was through Unity, maybe your grandmother got it, maybe it was through a friend, maybe it was left on a counter, maybe it was when you were in the hospital. I know that there are a number of ways that people first come in contact with it, but whatever it is, it's a comfort, it's a joy. So what would you think are some of the most common words that come up in the daily word? Faith, that's one. Peace, yeah.
Gratitude.
Prayer, gratitude. Love, trust. Joy. I was just getting ready to say that, but you beat me to it. Prosperity, healing. Did anybody say healing? Many of the prayers have something to do with healing, because really isn't everything that we're doing involving healing of some kind in some way? It's our spiritual healing that we're seeking. So I also learned that the new editor of the Daily Word, who's been on duty since 2019, Reverend Teresa, said that not everybody sends her words of positivity. You know, just like anything, and we've all experienced this as leaders in different aspects of our life, that people have something to say. Like sometimes there's too much emphasis on the Bible, and other times there's not enough emphasis on the Bible, or it's too Christian, or it's too secular. And so it's like anything. There's got to be a blend of all of that, and that's what they're seeking. So you may wonder how today's daily word compares to that of 100 years ago. Well, it's definitely taken a softer turn, a more inspirational turn, because when the daily word was first published, in 1924, it really was emphasis on the students that were involved in training as unity students. So it was the students involved in the correspondence school. And so it was much more focused, it was much more metaphysical, and it was much more instructive in nature. But now that it's appealing to a broader audience, it's taken a broader theme. So the first issue, July 1st, 1924. I don't think any of us were alive then. But there are still people alive that were alive then. But the theme was God in me is my light and my understanding. Pretty cool, huh? And Frank B. Whitney was the inaugural editor, and he served as editor for 14 years. And during that time, he wrote most of the messages himself. Interestingly, before he came to Unity, he was a dentist. He was trained as a dentist. He worked as a dentist for 4 years. And he must have said, there's got to be something more. I am called to do something different. So he came to Unity first to work at Silent Unity. And then he later became the dean of the Unity Correspondence School. But he felt called, he felt this inner nudging, like we've all felt at some point in our life, to do something additional. And his idea was to write a daily devotional. And he would dedicate all of his remaining time to produce the Daily Word monthly. Is that not incredible? Writing almost all of the messages and the affirmations that accompanied the messages for the first 14 years. So an interesting tidbit, those of you that have heard me speak before know that I often talk about two women unity leaders in particular, Martha Smock and May Rowland. Well, there's a connection here with all this. So after his first year at Silent Unity, Frank Whitney married a young woman who was just out of high school. And that same year, she succeeded Myrtle as the director of Silent Unity and went on to lead Silent Unity for 55 years. He married May Rowland. Is that not amazing? And what a team they were. Then, when you look at the progression of the Daily Word, the next Daily Word editor was Martha Smock. She had just graduated from high school in 1930, and she and her sister were both sent to apply for a job to help support the family at Sears. But her sister was hired at Sears, but Martha was not. And she later described it as divine order, that she did not get that job, and that she later came to work at Unity. She first started as a file clerk, then as a letter writer and an instructor in the letter writing component of Silent Unity. And then in 1934, May Rowland suggested that she take over as the editor of Daily Word. And Martha said, like maybe some of you had said, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. That seems like a big leap. But she assured her that she had absolutely no doubt about her ability. Wouldn't we like to have somebody like that cheering us on? And so she began her 33-year editorship with the Daily Word. And this is what Martha said about the Daily Word. It serves as a daily reminder that nothing is hopeless or impossible. It reaffirms that we are spiritual beings who can meet any situation happily, effectively, and constructively. So there's always been this embedded link between the Daily Word and Silent Unity. And it continues in each edition. There's a list of affirmations in the inner corner, inside the inner cover rather, and it lists the affirmations for the month. And these are the ones that are used by the Unity Prayer Ministry for those of us that call in and ask for prayer support. But we can post these on our own wall, on our own mirror, on our own refrigerator. And then we have the variety of messages. Like this is from September of 2023. And a variety of topics. So I'm going to do a couple of things that I hope will be fun for you. I also invested in daily word cards. And I have some daily word cards for healing, and I have some daily word cards for peace, but I'm not sure what happened to the ones. Oh, they fell off. Thank you, Russ Little. And I'm going to ask Megan if she will just pass out some of these. Maybe, Russ, you would help too? Okay, so this side is going to get peace, and this side is going to get healing. Now, these are not for you to take home. I just got these a couple of days ago. I really want to work with them and play with them, but you can order your own online through the unity.org, through the store, the Unity store. So there's so many beautiful and inspiring messages. And I just want to remind you, take us back to 2 weeks ago when I spoke, when we were talking about the book, What It Takes to Heal, How Transforming Ourselves Can Change the World. It's by Prentice Hall. And this book is all about the process of using mindfulness. It goes along with the practices that we could implement to bring more peace to our lives. One of the things that you all have asked about on a number of different occasions from the guest speakers is to tell you how you can handle the challenges, the stressors of living in today's world. And there are plenty, not just that it's hotter than blazes in Dallas, but that there's some hot topics and there's some contentiousness. So these are some ways that we can do it. So who has a card that really resonates with them? An affirmation. Doug's. Will you read it?
I will.
Okay.
Divine light is the front. I open my mind to divine wisdom and make decisions that are best.
I open my mind to divine wisdom and make decisions that are best. Wow. Open my mind. We have to take a breath, and then we can envision that happening. Because sometimes when we get into our self-righteousness, it can be hard to open our minds. Okay, how about somebody from this side that has one they would be willing to read? Donna?
That says alive.
Alive?
And a beautiful year. I am radiantly and vitally alive. I acknowledge the restoring, harmonizing power of divine energy that is my true nature.
I am vitally alive, and I remember harmonizing energy that is my true nature.
Yes.
Woo! Just let that wash over you. What about somebody on this side again? Okay. I got her. I'll come to you next.
Prayer immerses me in indwelling peace. In stillness, I am inspired, directed, encouraged, and restored.
In prayer, I am inspired, directed, encouraged, and restored. Woo! I love it. Wow. Makes that choice easy to turn inward, to go to prayer. Okay, Sandra?
My word is focus.
Focus.
As I focus on wellness, I become healthier. I flow in a current of divine
in a current, a wave. I flow in a current of divine well-being. I've been longing for the ocean lately, and that just transports me there. She has a beautiful wave. Okay, go ahead. You were going to read or share. Meditate.
Peaceful, calm, and relaxed. So I make meditation a daily habit. I feel refreshed.
Refreshed and what?
Renewed.
Renewed. Refreshed and renewed. Making meditation a daily habit. Who could use a little refreshment and renewal? So these are very key opportunities that we can embrace. Daily word cards. I think there's 4 categories. I got 2. Peace and healing, those are the ones that most spoke to me. But there's an abundance of options that you have. Because one of the things that we know is that the most frequent requests fall along the lines of emotional well-being, physical well-being, right? I've had some challenges lately. Those of you that haven't been here may not know that I fractured my pelvis about 6 weeks ago. And I am proud to demonstrate that I can walk and move. Somebody told me I should be dancing, and so yeah, I can dance. A month ago or so when I was here, I had to sit on a stool. I came in with a walker. I left with a cane. Things evolve and heal. And I did my time in prayer and meditation. And it transformed me on a number of different levels, not just physically. So we have to be willing to implement self-care and allow ourselves the gentleness, the self-compassion, the self-nurturing that we require to be at our best and to take care of ourselves well. So the daily word, it's a huge opportunity. I didn't know until somebody pointed it out this morning that you all have this also. So this too could be yours. I like to put stickies in my books because I don't write a lot in them, but I make lots of little notes. But you can take this opportunity to experience the messages on a number of different topics. You can get the backstory, but there's also, I'll just share with you, Chapter 3 are all messages of healing. Chapter 4, all messages of faith. 5, messages of prayer. 6, messages of prosperity. 7, messages of guidance. Chapter 8, messages to let go and let God. Messages of divine order for chapter 9. Peace, chapter 10. Forgiveness. That'll be my talk on September 15th. That's chapter 11. Messages of grace, chapter 12. Protection and comfort, chapter 13. Messages of joy, chapter 14. And this is set up in a way that really resonates with me. I have other daily word books. There's messages for families, messages for women. They've categorized them in different ways. But I like it when it's easy to read a number of messages on the same topic. So that really works for me. If I am feeling discouraged, then I could read messages of hope. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, I can read messages of peace. So I encourage you to look at this as a tool. You may not have been here long. You may not have your own daily word subscription, but I encourage you to look into what this can offer you, how you could share it with others, because it's life-changing for people. One of the stories that I learned about Maya Angelou was that when she first went on a long excursion on a train by herself, I forget the specifics, but it's in one of her early books. She was given a daily word to take with her, and it provided her with great strength and great trust in herself and in her higher power to take care of her and protect her on this journey. And then years later, fast forward, I'm in a prayer class through Unity, and it was all over electronic. We didn't actually meet at any given time. We just read the content and submitted the materials to the instructor, but she was in my class. There's not many Maya A's. And when she introduced herself, she literally used the same line that she used from one of her books. So there's many people that have been impacted and influenced and in fact changed forever. One of the interesting things that I also learned is that there is a separate area that supports and funds Daily Word, and they don't have any dates. So there's no day or date included. And those are disseminated to prisons, to hospitals, to hospice organizations, so they can be used over and over again. And they can take advantage of the healing message, of the supportive and kind and loving message that the Daily Word shares. So here are a few of my favorites. One is from 1970. I was alive then. My mind is at peace. My heart is at peace. My emotions are balanced and peaceful. I am at peace. That one gave me such comfort when I really let it touch my heart and soul, which takes me to my next favorite of the ones I read yesterday. One with God, I let nothing disturb the calm peace of my soul. One with God, I let nothing disturb the calm peace of my soul. I think I'm going to write this on a little index card and carry it with me, because there are many opportunities for us to get triggered when we're out in the world, or we're on Facebook, or we're on social media, or we're watching the news. There are many opportunities for us to have a reaction. One with God, I let nothing disturb the calm and peace of my soul. It's possible. With a little bit of a shift in our consciousness, we can keep ourselves balanced and centered and filled with the love that we truly want to share with the people around us. We can be that change we want to see in the world. Living love, exuding love, being at peace, feeling that inner harmony. And I bless you, each of you here today, as you go out this week. This is our last few days of August, and I know you're probably like me saying, are we going to get some temperatures that don't go out of the 90s? Finally, we will. I trust that we will. That's part of the divine flow of life. But blessings to you, and I wish you love, peace, and joy until I see you again.